All right, so back with another video. For those who don't know already, my name is Corey. This is video number 2, uploading to YouTube. And the one thing I want to kind of talk about today is what the seasons mean when they change. You know, we had a nice little snowstorm yesterday here in Chicago. I'm in Evanston, so I'm in a north suburb, but the greater Chicago area got hit with some snow yesterday. So one of the things that I'm kind of big on is trying to find the meaning in many things. And one of the things that I've come across, or I'll come up with mentally, is understanding that, you know, every season that comes by, there's a reason for it. So let's think about the winter, and this is just purely my understanding of it. Let's think about the winter. The winter comes, you know, the leaves die, it's cold, colors are changed, like nothing is there, no color. It's most times it's all gray, and it's all just everything is just cold, right? Well, what if there was a reason for that? Just like with the summer and how everything is beautiful and blissful. The same with the spring, how it's, you know, how the weather can be inconsistent at times. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's warm. It really depends, you know. So when it comes down to like the winter, I think that the winter is teaching us to be patient. You know, that yes, every day is probably going to look like the last, with it being gray and gloomy, and then you might have other days where it's like we're mostly, you know, in the house, inside, right? A lot of folks don't look at that and think about it as, you know, maybe I should be focusing on something right now. You know, maybe I shouldn't be looking at the process in which we're not getting what am I looking for? We're not being entertained, right? We're looking for that entertainment aspect to make its way back in the winter, and it doesn't really work like that. One of the things I can say is, if you allow yourself to sit and just really understand what, you know, the days that go by, let yourself sit with your boredom, let yourself sit in that mentality that no, I don't have to have fun today. The fun doesn't need to come today. You know, it can, but it doesn't have to. And I need to find fun elsewhere. So what if that's what the winter is trying to teach us? What if that's what God's lesson with the winter was? Same way with the summer. The summer, everyone's, you know, we're all carefree. You know, you feel like you have more time on your hands. You feel like there's so much to do. And it's just like, you got to realize that this is the same city you're in, the same city you were living in, this is the same house you were living in, this is the same everything. So maybe in the summertime, I think the lesson for the summer is for us to be a bit more frugal with our time. Because we'll spend the summer just doing a bunch of stuff, right? Investing our time into this, investing our time into that, and it's like sometimes we'll get lost and we'll get away from the things that we were trying to do, the things that we were trying to get into, because we're aiming to be entertained. You know, we've been so holed up in the house from the winter that we're looking to burst out. So maybe in the summertime you should learn to be a bit more frugal rather than frivolous. And then as the fall comes, when the fall comes, of course there's change. You know, it's the same change with the spring, only just in reverse. The spring is blossoming, the spring is blooming, you know. The fall is where things are beginning to trend into a changing season. So in order for you to really understand it, going into the fall is that changing season where things are supposed to maneuver, and then you make your way into the winter, where you have to learn your patience, where you have to be patient. Then you hit the spring, where you have to learn to trust the process. You have to let the process go. You have to let the flowers do what they do so they can bloom. You have to let the grass do what it does so it can turn back green. You have to let the temperatures do what they do so they can warm up. There's a process for this. If you've ever noticed at like the beginning of the summer or like late winter, like midwinter, something, depending on where you are and depending on what time of year it is, but you'll wake up in the morning, like say you're going to work at 7 a.m. and 7 a.m. it's cold, it's chilly, it's like cool 35 degrees, right? But what if I told you that if you allow yourself that day to just allow the process to come, what if I told you that it goes from 30 plus degrees and it goes into like a 50 degree day or a 60 degree day, but you have to allow the process to take shape, to take form. Every season has something that's linked to the human process. And this is just my belief. This is my full-blown belief. But every season has a link to the process in which we're trying to navigate life. So, once again, I'll go over those 4 again. And I know I'm kind of talking around, but stay with me. The spring comes and there's the change. You allow the process to take shape. The temperature, the physicality, the beauty. The summer comes. Be a little bit more frugal with your time because the summer doesn't last long. It's the most enjoyable time of the year, but it doesn't last long. So you have to be a little bit more frugal with your time. The fall comes. You have to allow the change. Let the change come because you're going from those 70, 80 degree days, 90 degree days, depending on where you are, to, 80 degree days, and it's like 60 by the time 6 o'clock hits. That's a big change from where you were beforehand. So I firmly believe that is where we need to be. That's the process that we need to be in. Understanding the seasons as they change, we have to change with the seasons. So as this new year starts, it's January now. I think it's January 11th. It's a Saturday. As this new year starts, we're 11 days into this new year. Start to view the seasons like that. Levels of change, levels of difference. Because once you allow that to kind of come into your mind, then the weather or the physicality of it doesn't shape you. It doesn't change you much. But you have to allow yourself to think differently, think outside of the box. So yeah, of course we like the summer. The summer's beautiful. I love the summer. Summertime Chicago is nothing like it, right? Nothing like summertime Chicago. But if you appreciate the winter, if you appreciate the change, then you'll understand that summertime Chicago is still wintertime Chicago. And wintertime Chicago is still springtime Chicago. And springtime Chicago is still fall-time Chicago. Still Chicago, but the things have to change along the way. It's the same thing with a team, workplace, things of that nature. A lot of folks don't stay long when it comes down to, in the workforce or on teams and things like that. They don't stay long. But they will, there will be a process in which everyone has to go through. You come across some good work people and guess what? 3 years have gone by and now this person's getting ready to go into something else. You shouldn't think about how you feel right now and compare it to how you felt back then because it's going to change. Yes, you want this person to stay here. You want this feeling to last. But guess what? Emotions and feelings, they change just like the seasons. So you have to allow yourself to grow with the change. Allow yourself to grow into the seasons. So that's the takeaway. Might have been a rant, but grow into the seasons. You know, I'll hear a lot of folks say, "Oh, I hate the winter. I can't stand the winter." Oh, or I'll hear a few folks say, "I don't like the summer. The summer is too hot." Cool. Whatever it is your season of choice, embrace the rest as if you would embrace that one. All right? So, with that one, this is with the quick one. I just want to get on here and say that I will be dropping a bit more often. So, if this video is choppy, I apologize. I'm just getting started. So, stick with me and have a good one, y'all.